Okay, hopefully we're back. Looks like Restream just doesn't cut it, keeps cutting out basically, which is super frustrating. So sorry about that. Unfortunately, looks like Restream is just not good enough. So I'll get my money back on that one and just keep with the single stream for now. Maybe we'll try Streamlabs Ultra instead and see whether that's any better or not. It doesn't seem to work, unfortunately, but there we go. Right. Okay, looks like we are back, thankfully. Okay. The logo itself is still absolutely crap. Can we come up with a much nicer, more interesting logo, please? Okay. So where were we? In Cloudflare. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do that, please. So we can add that in GitHub then, I think. Should also rename this openly.bet as well, actually. Sequence of variables, actions. Environment secrets. What was it? Just openly.bet was what needed as. Yeah. Okay, hopefully that sorts that out. Okay, let me just push those changes. Yes, you can do that, Claude. So yeah, I definitely think maybe just when I'm on just a laptop in Japan, just stick with the simple stuff, basically. Keep it single stream to YouTube, not try and complicate things. And then maybe when we start getting a bigger community or whatever, I can get a beefier machine and do multi-streams and all the fancy things. Let's get the basics down first, I think, and then move on from there, I think. Okay, so it's made all those changes apparently. On stage changes, please. No, on stage changed. Unstaged, not on. Total opposite of what I wanted. Okay, so we should be getting a deployment and it's totally broken by the looks of it. Why is it broken? Type check. Fix migration journal. Okay. Right, we'll get Claude to fix this then. Can you please fix this type error? Get that fixed as well. Should never have made it that far. One of the rules is it has to run type checking. Totally ignored the rules as I keeps doing. Yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Sorry, I had a few issues. I was using Restream earlier. I bought a subscription, and unfortunately, it just seems to cut out. So I'm just abandoning that for now. Going to stick with just the old Streamlabs to YouTube. Okay. Okay, please commit and push just that one fix. Approved with changes, one blocking issue. Okay, that's fine. That's not related. Okay, so yeah, where are we with the product and stuff? So I bought a domain name, bought openly.bet. I guess the idea is that we're betting in the open there, so trying to come up with a domain and name and stuff is all super difficult. Trying to come up with a logo now via Gemini, but it's producing literally dog crap. At one point, I think I broke Gemini, and it just started spewing out this like crazy bulleted point of stuff. Like, I think the problem was like, still got text in the logo, and you're not using the colors that I suggested. Also, the logo, I should say, looks crap. And then it literally just went on this like crazy tangent again in like a loop, and like, final execution. I will generate now. Safe, no text. Green, safe from. Executed, done, minimal detail. And then next thing, perfect, safe, I'll execute. I'm execute. And it's just like gone absolutely bonkers. So we do see a lot of this happen actually with a lot of the models. I've never had it with Claude, but I've had it with a lot of the stuff. And like, again, it's just like generating, perfect, safe, execute, all text gone, just clean forms in palette, safe, minimal. Like, what is it doing? Absolutely bonkers. But there we go. And this is the logo it's generated now, but just like dog crap, basically. No, it needs to be really minimal, really clean, really simple, please. So I don't know what it's coming up with these logos. It's just trash. Okay. Let's see whether that has fixed it. Okay, yeah, that's fixed the issue there. Let's go ahead and deploy this again then. Why it's changed to that, I don't know. Oh, I've lost deploy. Why have I lost deploy as a workflow? Oh, it's because it's not fixed. It looks like we've got an issue with the deploy script. This is what happens when you don't review code. You just get these random things that appear and just make no sense. Hello, Lalith. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm good, thanks. How about yourself? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. We are currently building the LLM prediction application to pit LLMs against each other. So they'll make predictions on sporting events, and we'll place the bets on Polymarket and see which one can win us the most money or lose us the least amount of money is probably more likely. So yeah, we're just currently building out a few little fixes before I can I don't have Ruby installed. Like, why would you ever use Ruby? Come on. All right, seriously. So yeah, once I've got all these little things ironed out, basically we can ask the LLMs to generate the weights for predictions. I'll then do some kind of dry runs on production, and then I can fund the wallets, and we can hopefully get some predictions and make the first bets today. I think there's games today. Yes, please. So we should be able to make some predictions and see what's going on. In fact, so we look at fixtures. So what is it? It's the 4th of March. So I think technically these are today. I'm in a different time zone, so I think that's probably why they're saying that. Let me have a look at the BBC. Scores and fixtures today. Yeah, so they are on the 4th, but the 5th in my time zone, so that's fine. So we should be able to make some predictions on those ones and actually make some bets on Polymarket, which will be awesome. Super excited for that one. And we can go from there. And yeah, I was doing a bit of research today, just asking Claude about kind of strategies for this kind of thing that people have, because I've seen a lot of stuff. Actually, well, I can open up my Claude combo actually, nothing private in it. I signed up to this website the other day actually. I think it's by someone that does like open building as well, similar to me. I think they're a lot more successful than I am, but yeah, Trust MMR, I think it was, where like he's selling verified startups, and you can look at startups and make an offer and all that kind of stuff to see the odds. I think the email came through when I was having my coffee this morning for this one here called Oddsly. I was asking Claude, like, how are they making these predictions? Where are they getting all this data from, and able to come up with tips, for bets basically, and charge money for them. And basically it's just really basic. So my idea was basically like, can we replicate this kind of stuff and give away all this stuff for free potentially? And the answer is basically yes. It's super simple, and what they're doing is probably really dumb anyway. So my stuff is actually probably better than that already, I should think. So what we'll do is we will also create our own ML model, so our own little AI. It's not really AI, but what we'll do is we'll get the data from the API, we'll train our own model to make the predictions, and then we'll use that as another competitor as well at some point. But that's a future feature. So we'll see how we get on with that one, basically. Okay, I should be able to go ahead and deploy now, which is good. Yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, let me know. We're not making an AI for future traders, no, or trading futures, sorry. What we're building is an AI, well, we're not actually building the AI itself, not currently anyway. We're using the existing LLM models, and we're going to be doing currently just sports betting for currently just football, so the English Premier League. And the idea is that we get the LLMs themselves to make kind of the weights for predictions, and then we make the bets on Polymarket, and then based on those bets, we tune the models via the LLM, and that's kind of the process currently. And as I say, we will make our own. I guess the terminology of AI and ML kind of gets interchanged, but yes, we will make our own AI to make predictions for sporting events. We can even potentially do it for future things like trading futures and stuff, I guess, in the future. I don't know much about that, so I'd have to look into it a bit more to understand what we can actually do. I don't want to go down the route of becoming like a full hedge fund and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of what that ends up being, and like a quantitative stuff. So we'll have to see. Money is declared but never used. Oh, Claude, why can't you get stuff right? Okay. But yeah, let me know if that sounds interesting to you guys or not. So yeah, the other thing I was thinking was like, because we've now got access to LLMs and stuff nowadays, we can also do like sentiment analysis if we wanted to, and add that in as well. So we could get the LLMs to make some, research calls, and use that data as well, basically. Lots of things we can do with this. There's so much we can do with it, really, that it's a bit of a beast. So start small, try and get something going, and then go from there, basically. Okay, so where actually are we? Okay, fine. So hopefully it's made this fix. Oh, okay, so Daryl, you're building an AI for trading futures then? Is that what you're currently building? I'd be interested to hear about that. I don't know much about futures, as I said. I guess they're well, as far as I understand, it's basically you're betting on like the future price of oil or something like that. Yeah, maybe it's something we can look into in the future. As I say, I'm not a particularly like statistics or mathematical person, or like a quant dev or anything like that. But it's something that we can definitely explore in the future. I just thought this was quite an interesting idea and potentially one that would get some traction and stuff on social media to kind of build the audience for my channels. That's why I started building it. And if we can make some money, then even better. But yeah, highly doubtful that the AIs can beat the sporting markets, given that the odds makers and stuff have like huge teams with PhDs and stuff that come up with all these odds. And obviously Polymarket is kind of a naturally self-balancing market. So can we make some money off it? Can we exploit our knowledge? Who knows? We'll see. Okay, hopefully this deploy works. Looks like it's going to work. Awesome. Okay, and I think I just need to do one thing on set SSL TLS mode to full strict. Was it Cloudflare? Just going to have to hide my screen for 2 seconds because I think there's some keys on Cloudflare that probably shouldn't give access to. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I swear I was logged into Cloudflare like 5 minutes ago, so not sure why it's not logged in. So what do I need to do? I need to set SSL mode to full strict. Configure. Okay, currently is set to that. That's absolutely fine. Okay. Come back on the screen. So hopefully that is working or about to start working better. Web server is down. Okay, it's not working. Maybe the deploy didn't actually work. Get any logs in beta stack? Let's see. Can you just show me the latest logs, please? HTTP authorization failed. What the hell is that? Okay, I mean, I don't know what's gone on here. It's done some crazy crap. That it's just kind of not looked at what it's done, and it's gone a bit cray-cray. Anyway, we'll fix that at some point. Cool. So in terms of where we are in changes here, I think we can commit the changes for the feature that we've been working on. Okay, can we commit the changes for the current feature that we were working on? Let's see what it comes up with there. This is all the stuff that I really hated as an engineer, like configuring all this stuff. Like, thankfully, I never worked in DevOps, so I never had to deal with all this stuff. But Cloudflare is proxying, we can't reach it. So if you're already using Cloudflare, use Cloudflare certificate instead of. Well, that's what I asked, you stupid thing, right? Secrets. Right, this to disk. I'm kind of using. Yeah, I mean, I did ask you about this. So I don't know why you didn't suggest this as the initial easiest option. Can we also write a document, markdown document, explaining what I need to do as currently streaming, so I don't want to have keys and stuff on the screen? Okay, we'll get that to sort that out later on. Okay, so that's done the batch queries stuff, which is just fixing some changes. That's what, fixing some bad code that Claude wrote. Okay, so what I need to do now is that one's already done. This one I need to do. So this just splits up the fetching of fixture data and market data. And the reason I want to do this one is just because when you go to markets, we do have like volume and liquidity and stuff. And currently this is only ever updated once. So we actually need to update it completely. Well, not completely, sorry, but fairly often. Otherwise, we kind of just lose out on some context and stuff, which is not great. So update that to run ever so often, basically, to just get the volume and the liquidity and stuff. Also need to get the UX fixed for some linking stuff because it looks crap. And potentially come up with a logo, but Gemini seems to be yeah, sure, we'll try that. Trying to get Gemini to come up with a logo, and it's just absolutely bombing. So we'll see what we come up with there. Don't necessarily need a logo, but it'd be cool to have one. Coolio. Right, so that's just fixing those changes. Create this. Yes, please. Okay. Yeah, one of the cool things about AI is like, well, and vibe coding is that you can kind of get past a lot of the stuff that, like, I would build little side projects when I was learning stuff and kind of have ideas, and I kind of get past the stuff that I found interesting, and then I'd be like, oh, I can't be bothered to deploy it and all that kind of stuff because that didn't really interest me. So with AI, you can kind of get past that step quite quickly, as it generally is reasonably good at that kind of stuff. So yeah, very interesting for kind of rapid prototyping and getting something out there and seeing whether you get any traction and stuff. Yeah, but let me know if any of you guys are building or have built stuff with AI and vibe coding. Always keen to hear. And yeah, don't forget to join the Discord and subscribe to the channel. I'll send you a link to Discord in the chat. I'll also pin that as well so that we've got access to it. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe and all that stuff, of course. So yeah, one thing we did do the other day, like when I was using Restream, which has just broken everything now, which kind of sucks, but it created a TikTok short for me, which seems to be performing very well, like 1.2 thousand views, which is great. So quite surprised by that, given it's just a little clip from the stream. So as I say, I'm going to be building a full SaaS product to help me create short content and plan content a bit better, really. Obviously, these live streams are not planned at all. They're just me and Claude trying to build stuff. Cool, but we're getting there. We are definitely making progress. So today, I think we will be able to make the first set of bets. A few things to fix. So yeah, just currently fixing the fetching of like liquidity data and stuff. I want to add an audit log before we go live, just so I can see what's happened with the wallets and stuff. I guess I can look at the blockchain and stuff and see, but it'd be nice to have like a visual audit log of what's gone, just for myself. Then I need to get the LLMs to be prompted. check that the prompt is okay, and run the bet basically. Oh, we actually probably need to check that there's no time zone bug issues and that it's all using UTC. Check time zone issues, because maybe it's doing silly things like not having the time normalized to UTC, and then like when we get the logic of having to make the bet within like half an hour before, so we get the injury data and stuff, or the lineups, I think it is. It might do that at a weird time, but we'll see. Hey caveman, welcome to the stream. So what are we building today? Well, we are building a platform to pit LLMs against each other, betting on sports events. So basically the way this is going to work is we're going to pick the models that we want to compete. We're going to get them to create some weightings based on the statistics that we have access to for the sports. So we're currently just doing football or soccer. We'll pass the LLM some statistics, get it to come up with some weights, and we'll run that through our prediction engine, and then it will come up with some bets, and we'll make the bets on Polymarket, and then we'll track the data and see what's going on really, and if any of them win and make money or lose money, we will see. And this will all be available on this website here once I fix a couple of things, and it will all be publicly visible. So you'll be able to see the bets, you'll be able to see the score, like the result of the month or the bets, all that kind of stuff. It's all in the open, and the repository is open source as well if you want to have a look at it. I don't condone the code; it's terrible code because it's all vibe coded, but it's all there, all in public. So yeah, we'll see whether we can get any of the LLMs to make money, basically. And one thing I will do at some point as well on stream is we will build our own machine learning model to make predictions as well based on the statistical data that we can provide it, and see if we can make a model that is better than the LLMs at predicting stuff, and in an ideal world a model that actually makes money. But we'll see. Competing against the Polymarket and the betting companies, I'm not sure that we'll succeed at that one, as I'm sure there's lots of PhDs and people that get paid a lot of money to come up with the odds and stuff like that. But it's unlikely that I can beat consistently. If I can, though, then I'm rich. So we'll find out. Yep, go ahead. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think the LLMs will be able to make good predictions, or do you think they're just going to hallucinate and come up with rubbish data? Basically, that's my prediction, is that they just make up absolute crap and we don't make any money. But we'll see. It'd be good if they could. As I say, it'd be nice to have this thing just, making money for us. It's unlikely that it'll be the case, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, other things we can add in the future as well is like the ability to follow the bets on these ones. Like, so if you use Polymarket, we could make it so that you could follow the model that you want to follow, and then it would, make the bets for you. I'm sure we can do that as well as an option if we wanted to. But we'll see. Because yeah, I know there's loads of companies, well, little products and people and Telegram groups, all that kind of stuff that do betting tips and all this kind of stuff. So we're basically going to build out all of that logic, but it's just going to be publicly available. And my hunch is that we can probably build better stuff than they do, because I think the way they do it is very simplistic. So we'll see. Okay, so it looks like it's fixed all of those things. Okay, but can you please fix that biome warning as well, please? Yeah. Yeah, so basically what this has done now, we should have a split of the fetching of the fixtures and the matches now, hopefully. Yeah, so we should be able to refresh the market if we make this, that needs to be 30 minutes, doesn't it, what it was? I just changed it for ease of local testing. Every 4 hours. Let's just do every 15 minutes. I don't think it's too difficult to fetch that often, really. 15 min. Okay. Okay, can you please add all of those changes plus the plan and stuff into a commit? Can you also add the feature name in the commit? Just that way it makes it slightly easier when I'm doing the review stages with the AI and stuff. So yeah, so this is our data currently. So basically what we should see is like the liquidity and stuff update. Simplify. We'll see whether it's actually worked or not. So yeah, has it updated it? Yeah, it has updated it. Okay, cool. Yeah, one thing I also need to do is like why the time and stuff is an integer and not the actual time. I don't know. Maybe that's just the way that Drizzle works. Just annoying to visualize when stuff was actually updated, but there we go. Okay, so that's worked. So we've now got the Claude skill simplify, having a look at those changes. Should just make some refactors and stuff, maybe make the code nicer, which should be good. So in terms of our to-do list, that definitely needs doing time zone stuff. I think we have actually done that, so I'm going to give that a cross as well. That's something we need to do at some point. Definitely need to do that today. Prompt LLMs. Well, it's the same thing. The mechanism is working as far as I understand it. Update the prompts and add more stats. Yeah, I think this is just check prompts now. Yeah, so I do need to make sure the prompt is good. Claude wrote its own prompt, so well the prompt, so hopefully it's good. Yeah, I need to fund the wallets as well. Hello, QWERTY. Welcome to the stream again. Good to have you back. How are you doing? Okay, so once that's gone through, we can move on to double checking time zone stuff, as we definitely need to make sure we're not going to run into any time zone issues, as it would suck if we tried to run all this stuff and it was on Tokyo time rather than UK time, and then we'd like missed the games or made the bets too early. Cool. Hello guys, welcome to the stream. If you are new, please do get involved in the chat, join the Discord and subscribe to the channel. We are currently building the LLM prediction competition, basically pitting the LLMs against each other to see which one can make the most money on sports betting. So dashboard is looking reasonably good. We're which I'm happy with. Some like UX-y things we need to fix, which I'll just fix because they're not too difficult. Deploy-wise, I need to get the SSL stuff sorted out. Oh. It's a very loud ambulance, I think it is. Yeah, but yeah, looking forward to getting this up and running, actually making the predictions. And as I say, we'll look at building our own ML model. Hey, I am from the UK. But yeah, we'll look at building our own ML model for this. As I say, I got Claude to kind of give me a reasonable plan for doing this compared to what we currently have, and like what kind of data we would need, and how we can go ahead and build that ML model. As I've not done any ML stuff before, so it'll be interesting to kind of explore with that and see if we can build an ML model on stream to make the sporting predictions. Because one thing we currently do is work, the logic only makes a bet for the winner, like either the winner or the draw or the loser, I guess. Like, but with the stuff I was asking Claude about, and it was kind of explained to me, was that you can basically use, I think it's Merkle prediction or whatever it is, Merkle trees. Maybe, no, Monte Carlo, sorry. Yeah, wrong terminology there. Monte Carlo, and I think it's Poison, like probability stuff to work out what the scores would potentially be, like make a prediction on the scores and more in-depth data and kind of a more granular prediction rather than just a winner or loser, which would be interesting to try out as well. As apparently that's what a lot of those kind of Telegram tip groups and all that kind of stuff, that's what they do basically, but in a very simplistic way. All parsing, here's a summary. Okay, please commit those as review changes. And then we'll get those reviewed by Claude itself, as always. I don't know why it does this massive command to make commits every time. Git log, so we want that one. We'll clear the context, code review. Get it to give it a little review of that, and then we can start thinking about what we do next. So yeah, the next thing we have to check is the time zone issue, just to make sure we don't have any, and that we're not going to run into any time zone craziness. Certainly when I was software engineer, that was one of the things I always hated dealing with, was time zone stuff, because like the concept makes sense, but then I always ended up with like weird bugs, and I hated doing the testing of time zone stuff. So yeah, maybe I need to get some music or something going on the stream for the times that I'm not talking or doing anything, rather than just silence. How's Gemini doing with the logo? Has it come up with anything? I mean, that's okay. Oh dear. Still pretty shit, isn't it, really? I mean, the Terso logo is pretty cool, to be honest. Terso, like a bull or something. I'm guessing Terso is like Spanish for bull or Italian for bull or something. Quite like the styling of this website, actually. It's pretty slick. Yeah, obviously can't come up with a good logo, Gemini. Maybe we'll get Claude to draw one. So Claude made the parrot for talky texty little 8-bit parrot. Maybe it can make a logo for OpenBet. Cool. So that's just chugging along. So yeah, I mean, there seems to be a lot of money that is bet on Polymarket and stuff. It's quite surprising, actually. Well, I guess it's not surprising, but you know, it's a lot of volume for Man City Forest. Hopefully, that's been reflected in our application. So the volume is 1.2 million. The money line, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Can you see that data? I'm assuming that's correct because it's just fetching it from Polymarket itself. Maybe that's the entire volume or something, I don't know. I'm not particularly knowledgeable on sports betting, to be honest. But yeah, we've got some games today at 4:30 Tokyo time, so I won't be watching those. But hopefully we can get the bets made, and then I can wake up and we've made some money. Hopefully, that's the plan anyway. It's not got the fixture there for those ones. I wonder whether that's a bug or that needs fixing. Let me just get the server to boot it up again and get rid of all the stuff. So we can delete from predictions, markets, fixtures, and bets. The bets won't actually, I don't think the predictions will run either because it's currently set to half an hour before as the constraint. I don't quite know why it's... Oh, that's a different one, isn't it? Okay, must do. Okay, please read the review in depth and understand all the intricacies and then make the required changes. So yeah, we'll get Claude to fix those. What actually were the problems? Operational concern, interval mismatch the plan. The plan specifies a 4-hour. Oh, I don't actually care about that. Must do changes, export stuff, fine, should do, log. Yeah, okay, that's fine. It'll probably change it back, but I can just change it back again. Not a problem. Okay, so we should have fixture data and market data again, which is good. It's not managed to match the fixture ID there. You probably need to look at why that is. That one I understand because it's too far in the future. That one I don't understand. Because that's today, right? Man City, Nottingham Forest. Yeah, we need to look at why that one's not matched correctly. Nor... Okay, that one's too far in the future as well, I think. Well, no, it's matched other ones as well. So yeah, it looks like we've got a bug with the fixture mapping. So we need to get that fixed as well. All these things that you don't realise that are happening when you're vibe coding because you never really look at it and don't do proper testing because you assume the vibe coding is just going to do it all for you. Nottingham Forest, Fulham. Okay, so that's the game, isn't it? They can't match, basically. Yeah. But it can match these ones. Strange. Okay, changes have been made. Can you just check them and check it conforms to the full review? You can ignore the time of the task issue. Okay, let's see what we get there. Then we'll look at this fixture mapping issue, as that's important. Otherwise, we won't get bets for those games because we can't match the fixture. And it looks to be fairly common, actually, which is not good. Definitely needs fixing. Okay, please go ahead and commit and push those changes. Okay, so where are we in terms of other stuff that's there? Okay, they all need committing as well. It does annoy me it doesn't commit the features and stuff, but okay, clearing the context. It looks like we have a bug where we are unable to match the fixture to the markets. It's happening reasonably frequently. Okay, there we pick a market where it wasn't able to match the fixture. For example, we couldn't match this market. What else does it need? That one probably. So we'll see what it comes up with there. So the reason this happens, like the kind of way this works, I guess, is that we fetch the markets from Polymarket. So these ones here, like who's going to win, basically. And then we have, what is it, API football. This is the API where we get all our data from. And we get a fixtures list here. But obviously there's some logic that happens to match the teams and, the teams from the fixtures and the API to the Polymarket. Because Polymarket doesn't do it quite clean away, because obviously Polymarket is built for tons of things rather than just sports. So we need to fix that. I hate the fact it's in infrastructure, but it is. API to player stats. I don't know where the mapping actually happens, to be honest. Maybe it happens in here. Gamma market to market, event to event. Maybe it happens in this one. Find needing fixtures, map fixture status, update status. Yeah, this is a problem with vibe coding, is I've got no idea where that stuff happens or how it really happens, to be honest. Market refresh. We'll see what Claude can come up with. Hopefully it can fix it. Okay, map events to fixtures. There you go. That's what we're looking for. So what does it actually do? It creates a map, goes through the fixtures, sets the ID, goes through the events, got this match game by ID. So if it's nil, returns nil, gets the game ID, fixture index. Okay, yeah, then I guess it tries to do your fallback and stuff, and it's just, yeah, not great. We'll get it to write a unit test for that and the other examples as well, because obviously there are multiple currently that don't match. So we've got what? That's the Man City one. So they're the same ones. That's a different one. Will Wolves win? That's a different one. And it's not consistent, like just one team by the looks of it. So obviously something not quite correct there. In fact, what I can probably do is if I select star from, was it markets equals null, is null, I can probably copy rows as copy the CSV with that. We can give it and make it write test cases for those ones as well, so that we definitely get the correct fix and it's able to work out what's going on. It's taking a long time to work out what's the issue here. Hopefully it can sort itself out. Should we have a look at what Gemini's done on the logo? If it's done anything different. Oh, we saw that one. Again, absolutely horrible. Can we come up one that is kind of more related to betting or sports or money or something interesting? Hopefully I don't break Gemini again with my prompting. Make it go insane and go in like an infinite loop. Yeah, I don't know whether anyone else has seen anything like that with Gemini or other ones. Like, I think I've run into that 3 or 4 times now. So we had it with open code and a couple of models where it was just getting in this crazy loop of like trying to run a command that it couldn't run and then going, oh, I can't run that command, let me run a different command, but then running the same command and just looping like that, which was kind of annoying. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, but that's like not minimalistic and it's not simple. Can you please follow the instructions? It's also got text, which is the one thing we said, absolutely no bloody text on the screen, please. It's obsession with it. I mean, it's made this logo like 4 times from the same thing. So there must be some company that has a logo that looks similar to that. And it's just using that as the data. Annoying. Yeah, Claude is struggling with this one by the looks of it. Okay, it's writing a plan. We'll be able to see what that looks like. Hello, Sallymond. What are we building? We are building a platform, I guess you'd call it. But the idea is that we can give the LLMs some statistics, get them to come up with their weights, and then use those weights to predict the outcome of sporting events. That's the idea. And then we're going to make bets on Polymarket and see which one can make the most money or lose the least amount of money. We'll see. Probably need to come up with, maybe I could just like record myself saying that and then I can just hit play. I have to say it quite a lot. So yeah, it's one of the interesting problems of streaming actually is like, obviously, especially when you're such a small streamer, like how often do you say what you're doing? It's difficult. And like, is it better to just write like in the description or who knows? Trying to work out what the best way to do that kind of stuff is. Okay. Yeah, okay, so tried to do some string matching and fuzzy finding and it just failed. Okay, so what we can do is we can add these test cases. Okay, I've added a test cases to the document as well. These are ones directly from the database, so we need to have test cases that all of these work, please. And we can go ahead and start the global implementation of that. Cool, so we'll get Claude to fix its own bugs, and then we'll get Claude to review it as well. What Gemini come up with, again, it's absolutely horrible. Anyone know of any good or the best way to create a logo? Trying to get AI to create a kind of interesting little logo for this, but it's coming up with absolute dog crap, frankly. Okay. So yeah, we hit our first goal of getting to 100 subscribers the other day, which is great. We made our first short video as well, which is just like from Restream, and it seems to have done really well. Way better than I was expecting, actually. 1.2 thousand views. Really happy with that. And I don't know what's good stats for short content. Never really looked at it, to be honest, but just under 50% stayed to watch it, which seems pretty good. So interesting. Yeah, I was quite impressed with the Restream Shorts tool. Certainly, like the editor was quite cool. Wasn't that one? This one here. So it came up with these kind of potential shorts. This is the one we went for, and it kind of builds this video, which is kind of cool when you get like this UI to edit it and stuff, which was quite impressive actually. But I think we will end up building our own tool that does all of this, and certainly makes it hopefully better. That's the plan anyway. Because yeah, like you can't really see much on, well, in that particular one, like having the stream there is kind of pointless because there's not much on the stream. But yeah, we'll see. Be interesting to see how we can do it as well, to be honest, because lots of stuff that's kind of interesting in it. This was particularly interesting as well, like how it's come up with identifying, you know, my face and positioning and stuff, and then how it's kind of picked what to show on the screen is kind of interesting. So something that we will explore, building our own tooling and maybe utilizing AI to do various things. As I say, I will be building, and I have built a little bit of it on stream, but a kind of content pipeline tool to help me come up with ideas and write scripts and stuff. So if that's interesting to you, subscribe, join the Discord, and we'll build it on stream. So it looks like Claude is making the fixes, hopefully. Yeah, it's interesting looking at all the testing and stuff it does. Like, generally, I found, like, as I said, the code is pretty shit that we've seen. The testing, I've not looked at much testing really, but I've never been that impressed with the test that it's written. And the fact that we keep running into bugs like this as well kind of implies that it's actually not building particularly effective tests. But for this product, like, we're not actually going to be selling anything. It's just a kind of interesting experiment and maybe get some growth towards the channel, and just kind of exploring AI tooling and AI coding. So I'm not too worried if we have a few bugs and stuff. But for the content generation stuff, we will be a bit more thorough and see how far we can get with vibe coding. Okay, so what else do we need to do? Time zone fixture, yeah. So that one's currently working. Then time zone issues, yeah. Need to fix, well, check that we don't have any, and then we can fix that. We can then add the audit log. Should be fairly straightforward. Check the prompt. Check the mechanism is working locally. I think I've still got open router credit. Don't think I have used it all. Can I sign in, please? Let me just go off screen so I don't show anything. Just logging in. I'll be 2 seconds. Maybe I did OAuth probably. Yeah, just have a look at open router on this one. Settings. Yep. Okay, yeah, still got some credit on open router, so I don't need to load that up again, which is good. But we've burnt $15 of credit on open router, and I think we built basically a Django boilerplate. Like Claude Opus was so expensive. Kimi K2 actually did okay as a model. So did Minimax, actually, to be fair. But Queen spent $1.36 to literally do nothing and just spin its wheels, which was really frustrating. And then like these ones are ones that we've generated boilerplate weightings for, so they're not too expensive, which is good to see. Okay. So apparently it's fixed that. We can go ahead. What would it be? Markets. I guess if we delete all that data again, we can get it to run it all. Bets, markets, fixtures. Okay, we'll run the server again. See whether we get. Okay, still got an issue with this team. So it's obviously not solved it. From markets, where? Still have an issue with these rows. There's got to be a better way that we can fix this as well. Can we fix the issue and then have a think about if there's a cleaner or nicer way we can actually do this mapping and stuff? So fix some of them, but not all of them, which is frustrating. So that was Brentford and Wolverhampton. Did it do any tests for that? It did. It's interesting that either the test is actually junk or it didn't run them. Did it run them? We can run it and see. Run test, is it? So I mean the test passed, and again it's an example where obviously the test that's written here is not working correctly because it would match then in theory. That's vibe coding for you, I guess. So yeah, this is a bit annoying because like if we want to add new leagues and stuff, we're going to run into this all the time, which is very frustrating. So I wonder if there's a better way we can do this. We lost all the viewers, apparently. Is there like a country teams? Okay, so we should be able to get like all the team information. From the leagues. Yeah, I guess the problem is matching it to these names. Yeah, it's going to be a right pain in the arse, that kind of stuff. I mean, is it the issue there, or? It's called Wolves there, that might be the problem then. Wolves and... Do we even have team? Oh, that's fixtures, sorry. So it'll be... Wolves, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of annoying, this. Okay, one of the problems with data, basically, is you often get stuff where the data is different across platforms and all that kind of stuff. Just annoying. Yeah, it's going to cause so many problems. Oh dear. Get rid of that as well, then, I guess. So yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. If you're new, we are building a platform to pit LLMs against each other to see which one can make the most money betting on sporting events. Do subscribe, join the Discord if that's interesting to you, or just vibe coding and building products on stream. We'll be building various other things in the future as well, like content generation and insider trading bots and stuff. So lots of interesting projects coming. Okay, so let's see if it's fixed. Could probably just do a select, but I don't want to type. Okay, so that's worked now. Finally. Okay. Okay, please go ahead and commit all those changes. I mean, how many changes was it actually? Quite a lot. Okay. Hopefully it commits the plan this time, because I hate when it doesn't commit the plan. It's super annoying. Okay, good. So the next thing I want to look at and make sure that we don't have any issues with is time zones. So yeah, we don't want to run into any problems where we've got time zone issues for the games. Can we please just do some research and make sure that we're not going to run into any time zone issues with the games, like depending on where the server is deployed, depending on the time that the Poly Market has, that Football API has. Basically, we need to make sure we're all using the UTC and that they're all aligned so we don't run into issues. Because yeah, it would suck if we missed making a bet or bets because it was unable to actually do the time zone correctly. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess the problem with that command is it doesn't actually look at. Maybe I need to tell it probably to go look at like research.md to understand what the project is. Otherwise, it just burns tokens for nothing. It's like, where are we today? You don't have a usage skill. I mean, that's just absolute bollocks. Okay, so we're obviously ticked over into a new session, so we're okay there. But yeah, the weekly one, I'm going to have to upgrade, I think, to the 20x one, which is not cheap, but there we go. So yeah, hopefully you can come up with a plan for that one and make sure that we're not going to run into issues. Again, that logo just looks absolutely horrendous. It's certainly not minimal. It's certainly not modern. It certainly doesn't look like a modern SaaS product. Trying to get Gemini to do anything is just impossible, basically. So one thing I did try and do yesterday was like on my website, I did try and get Gemini to like redesign it to be nicer. And I was like, I said like, look at websites like Superbase, like Terso and stuff to take design inspiration from. And it basically like, oh yeah, I'll do all that. Made loads of changes. It was exactly the same website with just a broken color change. It was so bad. Yeah, so I'm not impressed with Gemini at all, coding wise. Nor anti-gravity. I've still run into the bug where like the IDE doesn't send the commands, but if you open up the agent window, it does. It's such crap, basically. So I won't be using that again. Yeah, if anyone else vibe codes or builds products and stuff, let me know. What tools do you use? What have you found works well? Again, trying to experiment with the workflows and stuff for building with Claude. The research, planning, implementation workflow seems to work reasonably well. I think we've got better results using it. So same with the simplify skill that they built as well seems to be pretty decent. It certainly makes some reasonably nice changes that I've seen. Bum, 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 bum. 113 subscribers now, so yeah, slowly creeping up, which is nice. Always keen to look at the data and try and work out what I can improve, what I can make better. This is one thing I don't know how we can get better at this, to be honest. I think maybe with most streams, people come on for a few seconds, see if it like interests them, and if it does, they stay. If not, they go very quickly, basically. It's an interesting problem to have, really. Like I say, it's difficult to know like how often do you restate what you're doing. Obviously, people are joining like midstream, so it might be difficult to get context and stuff. Maybe I need to have like a stream starting in half an hour sort of thing as well. Maybe give people more time or write a description of what we're doing, maybe. Good shape mode, time zone bugs. Okay. Okay, I'm going to assume that Claude's correct there. If you run into a bug, I'll shake my fist at it tomorrow. Okay. Alrightio then. Let's go ahead and get the LLM prompt going, shall we? See if we can get something there. Ooh. So the way I do this is I run iterate. User not found. That shouldn't happen. Iteration fails. So what does it do? It goes to the Open API. We've obviously got that set. We've got the local database. Got the repos. If competitor ID. Iterate all. So what, if we pass it in the ID, does it work? Okay. Okay, it looks like we've got a bug with the iterate script. The ID exists in the database, but it's just saying not found. Let me copy the path as well, so we have access to that one. Please come up with a plan to fix this. No, I do not need a professional thumbnail designer. Please stop spamming. Put you in a timeout, 24 hours. Always getting people doing stuff like that, I guess. You can't do anything without someone trying to ruin it. Can I ban them as well? Right, they've got a channel. It's middle finger. How nice of them. Tells you everything you need to know about them, right? So yeah, we're trying to build a positive community here. Don't want people like that around. If you want to promote a product or your business or your freelancing, whatever, just let me know. I'm happy to help out with that kind of stuff. Can't guarantee I will promote you, but it's better than spamming. It just gets you banned and makes you look terrible. Are you actually joking? I don't think I've ever seen a worse logo than that. There's, like, how is that a minimalist logo? Yeah, Gemini is just absolute crap. Yeah, terrible. So yeah, what do you guys think about having music on the stream? I need to look into like whether I can actually do that and whether you run into like copyright issue and all that kind of stuff. I'll look into it and see whether we can do it, and then if we can, how it actually works. Context. So it's 4 from open API. Weird. Error is confusing, has no error handling. Okay, well, we need to add error handling to that. Okay, can you please add error handling to the Open Router API? And can you also check the other APIs and whether they've got error handling as well and come up with a plan for that? Okay, so what I'm going to do then is grab the credentials. So I'll go off screen for 2 seconds while I create an API key for Open Router. This is one I've leaked multiple times, so try and do it without doing that. LLM legal $5. So if they does get leaked, I don't get rinsed for all my credit. Okay, let me close the environment file. Let me close Open Router. Okay. Right. I can come back now and we can try and run that command again while Claude is busy doing that. Provider returned error. Okay, well, I'm getting that. Oh, Claude, why are you so rubbish? Okay, let me just go off screen again and check that I did the key correctly. 2 seconds. Okay, yeah, the key's fine. Where that error is coming from then. Okay, we'll get that to do that, and we'll just look at what's going on, because this would be good to get fixed, because we definitely need it. So open router, create wait, iteration, iterate competitor. I mean, we were passing in the competitor ID, weren't we? Yeah. Okay, it looks like it might be working now, actually. Because yeah, one thing we need to do is like check the prompt is actually good. Football betting strategist. Tuning a prediction engine via weight configuration. How the engine works. The engine computes a home strength score as a weighted average for feature signals. Derives probabilities from home win, draw, and away win. It compares those to market prices to find value bets. Okay. Required JSON output. You must respond with only JSON. Yeah. Signal weights are relative. Okay, that seems reasonable. What I'll do is ask Claude in the UI that I was speaking to earlier whether that's a good prompt. This is my... Okay. This is the prompt that I sent to the LLM for it to come up with the weights along with the schema. Is this good? Do we need to make any changes? Can you review it? Offer suggestions. See what it says. Okay, that looks like it's balked. Okay. 400. Is that not a model then or something? I'm pretty sure I got that from Open. That is the exact same string, isn't it? Yeah. Which is also the string in Anthropic Claude plus 4.6. $400. Provider returned error. I mean, tell us what the error is. Okay, I'm getting this error, which is not helpful. Can we actually return the proper error that the API returns? Classic. Okay, wow, it's come up with a few things, which is great. We'll get to update that. Solid foundation, biggest gap, no match context. Right now the prompt generates a generic weight config that applies to all matches equally. I mean, that's currently not how it works. We're doing it prior to the matches rather than... We're not actually doing it per match. We're doing it before the match day and then doing all matches at once based on the weighting. Is this going to be a problem? Should that change the approach at all? Just to see what it says. Okay, it says it's fixed it. Don't believe it though, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's just... Okay, I'm still getting exactly the same error. My voice is so low. Okay, I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. I don't think I've got a particularly deep voice, but... Clash with tons of data, 5% edge. Time match day. Showing the fixture list is still useful, even though it's not per map. The LLM might notice. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that we are planning on passing in the fixtures, to be honest. I guess the idea that I had was that you would create the weights via the LLM call. You would then make the predictions, make the bets. You then get the results. You then pass those results to the LLM with its own weights and everything, and then get it to iterate it and update it, and then do that flow basically. So we weren't specifically passing in like match day fixtures and stats and stuff. Okay. Says the test's fixed. Whether it's actually working or not, I'm doubting it. Okay, Anthropic output format schema, object type, additional properties is not supported. Okay. Okay, I guess this means that certain models don't support output format. Okay, yeah. So what we'll do with that one is we'll get Claude to come up with a plan based on that. Is the Anthropic's API rejects list of properties type number. Fix enumerates the feature names. Support. Okay, so that seems to be working now. So we do get hopefully a competitive version. Yeah, there we go. So we've got data now. Good. Good. Okay, can you please commit those changes? I'm definitely going to get a review of that because I'm not confident in what it's actually done. But we'll see. Yeah, we're getting closer. We should, I think, be able to make the bets today. That's the plan anyway. I think I just will need to fund the wallets, and then it's kind of almost there, really. In principle, anyway. We will get it to plan for this as well, though. Clear the context. Can you plan based on this feedback for the LLM prompt and our approach, please? Let's see what it comes up with. Hey, TJess, how's it going? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Do get involved in the chat. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Discord if you're new as well. Currently building a prediction engine, trying to get the LLMs to predict football scores, well, football results. We're going to be making bets on Polymarket to see if the LLMs can predict the outcome of sporting events, basically, and then we'll probably expand to other sports and potentially other markets, and also try and build our own ML model to make predictions as well, and hopefully beat the LLMs and maybe even make some money. Although I'm not holding my breath on making money from this one. I don't have faith in the AIs, basically. Okay, so that's chugging through there. Cool. Yeah, and this is all publicly available data. It's going to be on the dashboard so you can see everything. See all the bets, follow along, see the results. All in the open. So yeah, I've just basically got Claude to review the prompting a bit. And based on those suggestions, we do a couple of updates, and then I think we're close to being able to make some bets. All of these things are kind of nice to haves, really. Nothing is super. They were fixed, aren't they? So don't have to worry about those anymore. So that's kind of what we're doing now. The prompt update and the mechanism. Audit log of bat actions for bets. That's, I would like to have that before we start, but it's not a must-have. Obviously, I'll be able to see through the wallets what's actually gone on, but it'd be good to see what the code has done itself. That's okay. Let's have a little review of the plan because this one is kind of important. Oh, is it just created a? Oh no, that's just a random. That was the error handling one. Let's just commit that because that one, wasn't it? Let me do it via the terminal. Can't get my head around the UI. Add features 1.1. Commit. And okay, let's have a look at the plan then, shall we? LLM is a weight optimizer. It never actually sees football results, only aggregate results from how its weight configuration performed. And the quality of feedback page load determines whether it improves or random walks the current feedback prompt. Last bet outcomes and a flat performance lacks two critical elements: round by round performance history. Yeah, signal outcome correlation. LLM sees feature values per bet, but it must do its own correlation analysis, pre-computing which signals. Plan redesigns feedback prompt. Okay, rather than feedback around performance round rather than flat bet lists. Each time the system aggregates, it captures a round snapshot. The LLM sees the last n rounds as a time series plus aggregate signal correlation data. So round-based performance history. Store a performance round snapshot at each iteration. Each snapshot, enhance the snapshot to include round level metrics. Okay. But one thing we need to work out is how it's determining what a round is. Okay, so it's doing a problem. Major rewrite. This is a call to change. And bets placed. Okay. How are we determining what a round actually is? Is it via the game week of the matches? Can you explain what your plan for that is? Okay. Good question. Looking at the plan, honestly, it's fuzzy about this. Let me clarify what I actually propose. What the plan currently does, around equals an iteration. Every time you run bun iterate, the delta between the current performance snapshot and the previous version snapshot becomes the round. Okay, that's actually fine. Yeah, that's actually better. If you just wait after one match day, yeah. Okay. Yeah, keep rounds as iteration scoped. Yeah. Yeah, keeping it as iteration scope makes a lot more sense. Okay, we can go ahead and start to implement this, please. Yeah, so basically the iteration thing is like every time we update the weights, that's the round basically, rather than the game week. That way it's always kind of doing based on its own history and its the results from its current weights compared to game weeks, which is good. Okay, has Gemini come up with a better logo? I mean, that's like what, Pac-Man on its side. I don't know why it's obsessed with like little triangles and stuff. Right. Clean upward pointing caret to represent performance and growth. What a load of bollocks. Crazy. So yeah, trying to get Gemini to come up with a little logo for the product called Open Betly or Open Bet, Openly Bet. Sorry, can't even get my own name right. And it's just coming up with absolute dog crap, basically. So yeah, UI actually, another change I want to do is don't round the menu selection. So yeah, I don't think the rounding there looks very good. I'd rather just have it look nicer. It would also be good if that was kind of full width as well, actually. Also make it tit full width. They're minor things to do though, to be honest. So yeah, still need to do the SSL cert stuff, as that's broken. It's deployed now though, which is good. Get rid of that. Don't need that. I'm gonna get my money back from Restream because it just doesn't work. Yeah, if you guys have got any ideas or suggestions of what you'd like to see being built, let me know. That's my logs. That's Polymarket. We can get rid of it. That's the API. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, I think we're fine for now then. Cool. So yeah, I'm actually impressed at how many views the short has got, given it's just a little clip from the stream. It wasn't even that well thought out of a point or thought really, but seems to be doing okay as a short. I think it's like 50-50 on the engagement, well, a bit below 50-50, which is pretty good, I would imagine. I don't really know. Not done any short stuff before. 113 subscribers, so we're slowly but surely climbing. Hit the first goal of 100. Now I need to get to 1,000. And then we can start earning some pennies through AdSense, as we're already currently down like £300, I think. So And I'm sure we're going to be down even more when we actually start making the bets, but we'll see. And then I need to start building some actual product that's probably going to make, will help me make the content, and then hopefully make some revenue as a SaaS product, but we'll see. Okay, anything else that we need to do? Basically currently working on that one. That's a nice to have. That one should be really easy to do as well, actually. Each model on the UI plus versioning plus reasoning. Did we get it to do any reasoning? Does it provide any reasoning in the output as to why it's changed stuff in your suggestion or not? Yeah, okay, so we'll get it to do that as well. It'd be nice to have some kind of, well, I call it reasoning, whether it is actually reasoning or not. I think it's just prediction, isn't it, really? Ultimately, these LLMs are not actually reasoning, they're just doing prediction based on the previous tokens. But if we can kind of get something, maybe we can get a correlation between its reasoning and its changes. Again, that would be quite interesting to look at and see whether it actually is making progress and doing interesting things or not. And yeah, then we can obviously also build our own ML model for this, which will be quite interesting. As I say, never done any ML stuff myself, so it'll be quite interesting to play around with that. I'm not particularly like mathematical or statistical person. I do like to be data driven in a lot of things, but never gone down the ML route. As I say, I was pretty terrible at maths at school. Okay, welcome to the stream, guys. Do get involved in the chat. If you're new, subscribe. Join the Discord. Currently building out the LLM prediction competition. Going to pit the LLMs against each other to see which one can make the best performance betting on sports. Currently betting on football, seeing if any of them can make any money or not. And yeah, one thing we will do is definitely try and build our own ML model, as that can probably be quite an interesting thing, and see how we can iterate on it. Well, I say we build it, we'll get Claude to build it for us and see how it goes. Because yeah, I don't want this channel to be too codey, basically, or too technical. Okay, let's see how it gets on, shall we? Still running into errors there. Anything interesting on Hacker News today while we're waiting for Claude to do its agentic engineering patterns? I mean, that's kind of relevant, right? CPU, it runs entirely on GPU. New MacBook with M5 Pro and Max. Probably have to get myself a new setup when I settle down somewhere to do streaming and multi-streaming and stuff, as it seems to be quite resource intensive. So maybe buy myself a Mac Studio or something. Yeah, definitely don't want to go back to the days of Windows. So stick with a Mac. Okay, can we please also add in like reasoning output? Example below of what I'm kind of looking for. So what is this? Agentic engineering patterns for getting the best results out of coding agents like Claude Code and OpenCodeX. Started a new project to collect and document agentic engineering patterns, coding patterns, and practices and patterns to help get the best results out of the new era of coding agent development we're finding ourselves in. Using agentic engineering to refer to building software using coding agents. Yeah. I think of vibe coding using its original definition of coding when you pay no attention to code at all. Today is often associated with non-programmers using LLMs to write code. It's currently what we're doing on stream, which is not looking at the code. I'm guessing he's saying basically like when you do agentic coding, you read the code, you actually do it to a professional and production level standard, which we're not currently doing for this project. Writing code is now cheap. Yeah, good code still has a cost. I think that's definitely true. We've definitely seen that the LLMs still do not write good code. Yeah, maybe I'll read through this. It seems to be an interesting one. Wonder what people are saying on Hacker News. That's all. Generally, a little good thing I do is like read the comments before reading the article, just to see what the general consensus is. Maybe it's a trash article. We'll see. I don't care about that one. Yeah. Software development as the act of manually producing code is dying. A new discipline is being born. It's much closer to proper engineering. Like an engineer overseeing the construction of a bridge, the job is not to lay bricks, it's to ensure the structure does not collapse. The marginal cost of code is collapsing. That single fact changes everything. Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of generally agree. Like, the output of the LLMs has never really impressed me in terms of the code quality or anything like that. And on this point, like, yeah, it's kind of interesting. The idea that, you know, the cost of writing code is going to be pretty slim to nothing in the future potentially. And like, do software engineers become more like normal engineers, I guess, in like the supervisory thing where you say to all your agents go and build and lay the bricks and they go write the code? We'll see. It's kind of working okay so far, but what kind of bricks we've got and how the bridge stands up is yet to be determined from my own experience. Although having said that, like talky texty works pretty good. The UI is a bit slow at times, but ultimately the core functionality has worked pretty stable, really. It didn't work on Linux, and I doubt it works on Windows. Like, still waiting for Gemini to do that pull request for Kai, but we'll see. Yeah, by the way, I mean, I've got access to some passes. If anyone wants to try Claude Code for free, you get a free week of Claude Code with this link. So go ahead and try it. I don't get anything from it, so it's entirely free. Go ahead and try it out if you don't have access to it and want to try something out. There you go, free week. Courtesy of Anthropic. And yeah, if you build anything interesting or use it for anything interesting, let me know. Keen to hear how people are using it and what kind of things people are building or however they're using AI, basically. So again, I think like in the tech bubble, we kind of hear a lot more about these things, but I don't know whether like the general population actually uses AI that often. We'll see. Like I did see a thing saying that I think it was like related to a lot of people leaving OpenAI because they've signed up with the Department of Defense or whatever in States. And some of the stats I saw that basically, yeah, like although OpenAI have 300 million users or whatever it was, like most of them prompt like a once a week or something, basically never. So it's interesting to see what people do and how they use it. Okay. Hopefully it can come up with a little update for that quickly. Certainly getting closer to being able to deploy. And right, I've got no viewers now, so I'm going to go run to the toilet. So I'll catch you guys in a second. And I'm back. Okay, where did Claude get to? Got to nowhere. All right. Okay, yeah, so Claude's just working through that. Yeah, this is. I mean, this is kind of basically exactly what I'm seeing. Really, is like the tests it produced off all the code that it's produced doesn't necessarily mean that it's correct or testing the correct thing. And yeah, I mean, I am literally just rubber stamping all of it. So but that's kind of the purpose of this. Write a test first and then the code. Yeah. It's interesting to see how the thoughts of other people with this kind of stuff, because yeah, it's fascinating and scary at the same time, I guess. Like the code that it writes is crap, but it can produce functionality that you want. And as I said before, I think like there's this interesting kind of idea of like end users don't actually care how good the code is. All they care is that it works as it is expected, that it's performant and it's reliable. Whether you can achieve all of that with vibe coded stuff is yet to be experienced, really. Like I'm not aware of anyone that's actually vibe coded a full app that works correctly and doesn't have horrendous bugs and security flaws and all that kind of stuff. Be interested to know if there is that kind of example, but we'll see. So yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Currently just getting Claude to do some update to give us a change log and some reasoning as to why it's making changes to weights for betting. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Welcome to the stream. We're currently building a LLM prediction engine to place bets on sports events. And we're going to pit the LLMs against each other to see which one can make the most money or lose the most money. It's all vibe coded, all in the open, and all the data is available as well. Okay. Should hopefully get through this one fairly quickly. But yeah, as I say, we're pretty close to being able to stick it on production and produce the weights, fund the wallets, and make the bets for today. It's a goal. Definitely going to get there. And then I'll wake up tomorrow and we'll have made loads of money, right? That's the plan anyway. I don't even know if there's like a minimum bet we need to do on Polymarket. That's probably something I should have looked at. It's like $10 and I'm basically screwed. Okay, so you can do $1 bet. Do 0.1 of $1. Oh, you can do, okay. Can you bet a penny? Oh, well, that doesn't necessarily mean you can bet that much. Is there a min bet Poly market? No minimum bet, okay. Oh, okay, that's cool. So I can probably give like $10 to each of them to start off with then and to see that it's all working. Hi Sashin and hi Random, welcome to the channel. Always think to take challenges like this and then I build a product but get stuck on the marketing. Yeah, I mean that's something I have experienced as well, Sashin. Like I've kind of gone through the phase of like, starting loads of little projects and little tools and stuff, and then either never finishing them or building them and then going, oh God, I can't be asked to do any marketing or promotion and stuff. But that's where this streaming comes in. Hopefully marketing it through this, and hopefully gonna try and automate a lot of the marketing and stuff. So, well, not necessarily automate a lot of it, but make it easier for me to do that kind of stuff. So one of the products I'm going to be building is a content generation pipeline to help me come up with content ideas and stuff to try and funnel people to the channel and to the products and stuff. So that's one idea. And one of the reasons I'm building this little tool to do the prediction engine, pitting the LLMs against each other, is it has the potential to kind of get some traction, I guess. People are interested in Polymarket, people are interested in AI and betting and stuff. So potentially keep going with that. And, obviously every week we can have evergreen content of the bets. Well, not evergreen content, but content to bet, to show, look, this is how much you made this week, and kind of build an audience that way. So that's the idea behind this, and some of my reasoning. Doesn't mean it's good reasoning or not, but that's what I'm thinking. Thinking to start to contribute to open source projects. Yeah, definitely contribute to open source. It's a great way to get started and to learn stuff and get involved with projects. I found out about Trust MMR the other day, actually. It was never seen it before, but it's a very interesting and cool product. And I think the guy that's run this makes a lot of money, right? I think I saw him on Twitter the other day with how much he's making is kind of crazy, really. And yeah, then this seems like an interesting place to, maybe we will list our project on here at some point if we start making any money. As I say, the current plan with this product is not to charge for it. It's just to be a public kind of thing and see whether we can get an audience from it, and just to see how we get on with building with vibe coding and kind of releasing something. So that's the idea behind it. But yeah, Trust MMR is super interesting. I mean, it's a great idea as well. Well, it's not a unique idea, but he's obviously got a big audience to market this kind of stuff to, and he's been very smart in the way that he's done it. I think he sells that what do you call it, the boilerplate, and people build on his boilerplate and then they list on this kind of stuff. So kind of crazy, really. Can't believe people are making products and reach this kind of K MMR and then sell it for figures. Yeah, who knows? I mean, how many of them actually sell? How real the revenue is, I don't know. I guess it is verified via Stripe, but who knows? I've not actually looked at any of the products and stuff on here in any great detail, but yeah, it's interesting. If there are any that you think I should have a look at or want to talk about, then yeah, let us know. I mean, maybe one thing we can do, like if we ever start making money on this channel, is please go ahead and commit those changes. One thing that would be really interesting if we make any money on this channel is, can we buy one of these products and see what it's like, and then see if we can scale the product? Would be a very interesting way of doing it, right? It'd be quite cool. So yeah, interesting. As I say, I'm still new to all of this stuff, so very early days for me. But we're going to get to $1 million. How quickly we will, who knows? How we will do it, again, who knows? We're just experimenting and building stuff to see where we get, basically. So yeah, I think it was this guy, isn't it? The Mark guy. He makes an insane amount of money, I think, from his things, from what I remember. Yeah, like 33k a month from that, 20k from that. Yeah, crazy. He's doing well for himself. Yeah, what kind of things have you tried to build, Sashin? I'd be interested to know. Connect offline and try to discuss ideas and then build the product and reach it. Yeah, Sashin, in the chat there is the link to the Discord. Join the Discord and send me a DM. Always happy to chat about product ideas and all that kind of stuff. As I say, like, if someone comes up with a cool idea, we can build it on stream. I'm happy to share the money if we make any money from it. All of this is in the open, so being totally transparent. One thing I need to do that I haven't got around to doing yet is on my website, which is going to be like the place that we track it all. I need to get a costs and expenses thing going at some point. I need to get a new email account that I can forward the emails to and then get them processed and then adding to the database and showing all that data so we can see what it's actually costing me to do all this as well, because it's definitely not free. Got to pay for the subscriptions and all that kind of stuff. But you've got to spend money to make money, especially when you're using software, because you obviously got to pay to use a lot of the software. Okay, so we're just getting a review of that change. I guess we can actually run it ourselves to check whether it actually worked. I can go ahead and just delete those for now. These are all erroring for some reason. We'll just do that. So if we run this now, not that, if we run, okay, it's failed straight away. This is good. It failed. Right. Did you do any testing, or what exactly have you tested? Because it instantly failed. So yeah, again, the testing and stuff that vibe coding does is just what Claude does is dog crap, frankly. It's constantly doing stuff like that. Oh, maybe it's because I haven't done the migration. Okay, I'll be fair to it. Okay, yeah, so actually it might be working. Okay. So basically this sends off our prompt to the LLM to come up with the weights and the kind of logic for the bets, basically. So you come up with this data here, and this is what we're going to use to make a prediction. So that's working good. But yeah, join Discord session, and the link's in the chat. I'll just I can send it again if you want, and then yeah, reach out to me, send me a DM, and we can chat about product ideas if you've got any. Okay, so what do I want to look at now? Let's have a look at the review. Where did I do the review? I think it was here. Move the unnecessary cast. Okay, please read the review and then make the relevant changes that are requested. So yeah, one thing I need to do actually is probably improve the UI of the parrot-y, talky, texty. It's still not perfect. It works functionally, but I think it can look nicer. And these definitely need to be more active and stuff, even when I'm not shouting. $114 subscribers, awesome. So yeah, we're definitely making progress on the subscriber count, slowly but surely. It's increasing day by day. We are getting there. So if you look at the last 7 days, 22 subscribers. Pretty happy with that. So yeah, if we can get to 1,000, then I think I can get monetized on YouTube and then get at least some ad revenue coming in while we're building stuff. I need to make way more social content, like TikTok shorts and all that kind of stuff. But as I say, I'm going to build some tools to help me do that. Okay, please go ahead and commit these changes. Awesome. Right then, so we can say with reasonable confidence, semi-confidence, low confidence that that's done. Let's get these UI changes then. because they're small things, but they're just a little bit annoying that I want to fix. I need to go off and do the SSLs as well at some point. Do that after the stream, I guess. I then need to fund the wallets and then run the initial predictions on, well, the initial weightings on production. But I think we're at the point where we can actually do that now. I just need to point at the production database. And we should be able to do that. And then we're kind of there. We kind of have a product, well, something that we can see and track the progress. Yeah, ad revenue is a long dream. Yes, it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just joking around that, really. You know, obviously it'd be great to hit 1,000 subscribers. We're only 10% of the way there, and obviously I'm not expecting to make any money from ad revenue. It's just more of a can we start making any revenue? Because obviously I'm not selling any products yet. We'll see. As I say, I'm going to build as a full SaaS product, the tool to help me generate my own content. So that's going to be, looking at basically consuming RSS feeds and various other sources of information, coming up with some ideas for what could make good like short form content, long form content, then maybe write some scripts. We're going to use data to kind of tag the scripts with like, hey, look, this is a certain type of hook, or this is the topic, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll go and record the stuff, probably pay a video editor to make the videos and stuff. We'll then release it. We'll then get the analytics back, and then we can analyze the analytics against the data that we have and try and work out what's working well, what's not working, and then hopefully get to a kind of upward trajectory in audience and subscribers and views and stuff. So we'll see. I mean, yesterday we came up with a short from Restream. This was built by the tool that I was streaming with that broke, but managed to produce a short form just from the stream itself. And we've got 1,100 views, which is really cool. I never thought we'd get that kind of traction off just a short. So interesting. I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. And again, this one that's just a clip of the stream, one of the streams I did, 120 views, not bad. So we're just starting basically. I think with all these YouTube things, like obviously I would love to have it all kick off straight away and get hundreds of thousands of views and all that kind of stuff. But I think for the majority of people that are successful on YouTube, it obviously takes a long time. I think the ones that I see that, one video that gets 100,000 views, they're the one-offs really. They just get very lucky. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we can get there. Confident we can. And as I say, it's all going to be on stream. It's all going to be open. You can see all the stats, all the costs, all the money that I get or don't get, profit and everything. So not many people share that kind of level of detail. So yeah, definitely subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, get involved in the chat. Also trying to meet founders who are making money through SaaS products. Yeah, I mean, there's loads of people that make money from SaaS products. I don't know whether you've ever seen, there's a YouTube channel, I think there's a website as well called Starter Story. It's kind of an interesting one where he kind of interviews people that make money doing various little businesses and stuff. It's all often quite interesting. And I think there's lots of communities. I'm not a member of any of them that are kind of, I don't know what you call it. Like I think, was it Tiny Bets? Is that one of them? Where like people kind of validate ideas and all this kind of stuff in the open and have like community to talk around it and all that kind of stuff. I think it's this one. Maybe it's not. Can't remember. But there's a few kind of platforms like that where people have kind of accountability and post all their social updates and kind of stuff. I should probably look into it because obviously I'm doing it all in public now. Oh, was it 100 million? Was it? Okay. I knew he sold it. I didn't know how much he sold it for, but yeah, that's kind of crazy, really. 100 million. Well done to him, frankly. from just interviewing people that are successful to create £100 million business. That's kind of crazy, really. Yeah, well done to him. So yeah, I did see the video. I didn't watch the video, but I saw some of the comments, and they were saying that he didn't say how much it was, so how much he sold it for. So not official. Okay, fair enough. I guess we'll see. Yeah, we'll see whether it ever comes out or not. I don't know whether HubSpot is public. If HubSpot is public, then we will see when it comes out in their like financials. If not, then we'll keep speculating and see if he's driving a Bugatti or something else. Then it kind of gives us a hint as to how much it is. But yeah, it just shows you really. Like, one thing that I do regret a lot is that, you know, I saw all these people in the early days. Like, I remember seeing Startup Story when when he first launched, and to see them all make the progress and, you know, get successful, make a lot of money, and I did none of it. I started stuff and then just stopped doing it, so it's quite regretful, really. But we'll see. What's your target? How much your target to earn in a year? I don't have like a yearly target or anything like that. The goal currently is just to get $1 from revenue, I guess. So we're gonna have to start small, right? So like the first goal on this channel was to get to 100 subscribers. We've done that. So I probably need to, again, keep track of these goals and actually be public with them. But yeah, so the first goal was 100 subscribers. We got that. The next goal will be getting to $1 of revenue from a product or from AdSense or something, and then we'll build from there. It all takes time, of course, and from what I've seen with all these things, like, it's, you know, often it takes a long time to get something, and then you get something, and then, you know, kind of slowly goes up, and then hopefully you get to the point where it kind of shoots off. We'll see. Confident that I can make money from this stuff, but we'll see. Who knows? As like, having worked as a software engineer for 10 years or so, I was always very good at the product side of things as well. So hopefully we can leverage those skills, build something interesting, and get some revenue. Yeah, and the interesting thing about using, you know, the vibe coding thing as well is that if we can prototype stuff really quickly, and I can kind of get over the hurdles that I had as a software engineer of like not wanting to push through, like when it became a bit difficult, because I can just ask Claude to go and do the stuff that I don't want to do, like marketing and all that kind of stuff, then we can see how far we can get, right? But again, it's interesting to hear you say that you struggle with the marketing side of things. Maybe that's a potential product we can build, you know, something to help people that are terrible at marketing these products. Can we build a platform or something that can help with all that kind of stuff? We'll see. The nice thing with all this kind of stuff is that we can build it live, we can test it, we can actually see the results, and see what's going on. Because I think a lot of people that do kind of, you know, quote unquote building in the open, or, you know, crushing YouTube, all that kind of stuff, they never actually show any of their results. They just show like a screenshot, and it's all a bit dodgy, and then they sell you a course for 10 grand. So we'll see. Not planning on selling any courses or anything. So it's taken quite a while to do the UI changes, actually. I'm surprised by that. Okay, that looks better, I think. The menu definitely looks better. Needs to come up with the consistent link thing. So that one's done. That one's should be fairly straightforward to do, that one. And then the weight stuff. What versions is it? V1. Yeah, okay. It's not perfect, but gets us somewhere. Yeah, I mean, there are some people in Discord. It's obviously not very active at the moment. Like, as I say, it's building all this stuff up. Still very early days. This is like day 10 or something. So you're one of the OGs then, Sashin. So when we hit $1 million and we've got tons of followers, you'll be one of the OGs. Okay, so it looks like it's done some fixes. Consistent link UX. Was it consistent? I don't think it was from what I saw. Let me give it a refresh. Okay, that's actually better. No. The question link still doesn't look correct. Can we make sure that everywhere we are linking, we're just using a single link component so that they all have the consistent UX and design, please? Side menu bar styling, yeah. API version details. API types, extended visual summary, yeah. So we've got the version stuff, UI version, yeah. So that, all other than the link, was reasonably okay. Again, the UX probably needs some fixing. Like, I'm not sure that a versions thing really makes a lot of sense, but it's not too bad. Okay. But yeah, reach out to me on Discord if you've got any ideas of products and stuff that you want to share or get ideas on. Happy to talk about them. But yeah, I mean, as I say, like, I'm actually surprised at how many views I've managed to get on streams and how many people are interacting and stuff. Obviously, it's not a huge number by any means, but to kind of get over 100 people viewing a stream and lots of people chatting and various likes, I'm yeah, pretty happy actually. More than I expected on the initial few streams, to be honest. You probably just have to send me some messages. Like, it'll be easier to do text messaging on Discord. I'm currently traveling a fair amount, so kind of my time zone is all messed up and stuff, and always out and about. So just send me some text on Discord, and we can chat via messages. All good now. Every link uses the same pattern. Lovely jubbly. Does it though? Still underlined. The markets are still underlined on the link. Can we just make the links consistent? No underline or anything like that, please. I don't want the different underlining stuff. It's super annoying. Go away. I can't be asked with that. Okay, better. Right. So I think we're kind of close to being there. What else we've got to do then? So that's done as well, which is awesome. That's done. Don't actually need that. I do need to fund the wallets. The prompts we think we're happy with. I've not checked them manually, but I'm probably happy with it. So yeah, I need to fund the wallets, Discord integration. Yeah, maybe we can do that, and then we can get like notifications of the bets being placed and stuff. Okay, I don't think there's been much changes, were there? No. Okay, can we go ahead and please commit all those changes and all the plans that we have as well as separate commits? Cool. We're getting closer. Yes, you can do that. So, right. So yeah, actually we'll get Discord as the next feature because, yeah, like I say, it'd be interesting to have that. I can show it off on stream and stuff and get people to join and stuff. I guess for the moment it'll just be like posting that we've made bets, the result of the bet, I guess. And then in the future we'll have the ability for the community to offer their opinions, and we can have a community competition as well to compete against the LLMs and their predictions. So that'll be good. So we'll get that to plan, that one. I don't know whether it did have any boilerplate for messaging and stuff. I don't think it did. No. I really hate the fact it's called infrastructure. I'll get that changed. Okay, clear the context. Label planning. Can we come up with a plan using clean architecture and nice module code to add a Discord integration? So the idea is that when we place a bet, we send a message to Discord. When the bet resolves and we get the result, we send the message to Discord. And when we iterate on the models, we can also send a message to Discord as well, please. Hello, how is it going? Yeah, sessions. Yeah, as I say, just reach out on Discord and we can talk on there. And maybe we'll have Discord integration soon. So yeah, we're pretty close. I just need to do the SSL cert stuff and fund the wallets and then get the initial prompts done. And then we can leave it to make its initial predictions, which will be interesting to see. Do you make any money? Probably not, but we'll find out. Oh, actually, yeah, I should also get it to tweet as well, rather than just Discord. I don't know if you need to pay for the API for Twitter. Do you need to pay to tweet via the API? As I know they charge for everything now, I think, but okay, maybe we won't do that for now then. Okay, so we can't post. Maybe we can put some credits in there at some point and get that going as well. Start with Discord for now then, and we'll go from there. Yep, so we are getting subscribers, which is good. 114, I think, unless someone's left. Yeah, slowly growing. I'm still impressed by the short content, actually. 1.2 thousand views. Pretty happy with that. So yeah, definitely need to make more content, both short and longer form. As I say, I'm going to be building that application to help make that kind of content as well. So we'll see. So what are you working on today then, Mogul? Other than avoiding Iranian rockets? In fact, when was your last live stream? I've not seen you on Twitter, on YouTube recently. So yeah, just coming up with a plan to add some Discord integration, just to post messages of bets being placed. Nothing too crazy yet. We won't have the ability to do the what do you call it, community competition just yet. Website articles. Claude is helping me rank highly on some awesome search terms. Awesome. Well, yeah, you should be doing a live stream out in the open as the rockets go. Show true dedication to your FBA fans. Okay. Infrastructure, Discord client, that's fine. Discord notifier. Okay, but it's not mentioned a generic notification service, which is a problem. Okay, but we should be having a generic notification interface so that we can have Discord, Twitter, etc. as the notification platforms. We also need to think about how we can manage those. Probably a table that manages the notification type and then the place to send the notification, as well as like the templates for the notifications themselves. See what I can come up with there. So yeah, it looks like my microphone is already on red, so don't know how long it will last. So yeah, this is just the Discord bot, I guess. Should notification channels be manageable through the API UI? Yeah. We'll just do code define now. That can be plain text. Yeah, it's fine. If someone gets it and spams my channel, it's not end of the world. Just delete the webhook. So it'll be interesting to see how it designs this one. I mean, this is a feature that I've built in various things before. This design is not good. So hopefully it comes up with a better design. So yeah, I don't know what matches there are today, but we should be able to come up with some bets. And I'll fund the wallets. And then we can sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bets. So yeah, I'll probably fund the wallets with maybe like $10 to start off with, I think, just to see if it all works. And then we will maybe put $50 in each of them once I'm happy it's all working correctly. How many competitors have I got currently, actually? 5, so it's not too bad. And yeah, then we need to build our own ML model as well, which we can do at some point. We'll see how this goes first before we jump in building our own ML model. I do want to get building of the content generation product as well, both to help me build stuff and then also potentially people can use it themselves. Yeah, I mean, I'm not buying another microphone. Well, when I get a permanent location, I will get a proper microphone rather than just a DJI one like this that runs out of battery quickly. Not in the UK, so I can't steal your leftover stuff. What time is it in Dubai? Oh, it's only 2 o'clock. Fair enough. So yeah, FBA Mogul is out in Dubai at the moment. Avoiding those Iranian drones and rockets. Eating expensive steak. So. Okay, so hopefully it comes up with a better plan for this. Actually, how are we doing on usage? Okay, I'm definitely going to need to upgrade to the 20x plan then, because it's not great. So it resets in what, 2 hours? Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to upgrade at some point. I don't know if this extra usage comes as a, like, do they just give you extra usage, or do you have to actually agree to that? I don't remember ever agreeing to be charged for extra usage, but maybe. Claude code extra. Oh, okay. So okay, I need to get rid of that then, because I'm not paying for Opus extra usage, because that's fucking expensive. Oh, actually, I didn't want it to start because I haven't read the plan. Add Discord webhook notification for 3 key events. Infrastructure for clean architecture, thin infrastructure, client. I still hate it's called infrastructure. I need to change that. HTTP client, a domain level notifier service. In fact, I might just get it to do that change now. Yeah, I'm going to get that change done actually. Can we please rename this APIs rather than infrastructure, as it's just really confusing with the infrastructure as code. Okay, so call notifier. Integration follows clean architecture, thin infrastructure client, handles HTTP and domain level notification service, format messages, and the scheduler / script calls the notifier after each pipeline runs. Approach Discord webhook over bot. Okay, fine. Infrastructure client, the domain notifier. That just needs to be notifier. I don't know why it's Discord notifier. It's not updated the plan for that, is it? Integration points. Yeah, that still needs fixing. What, some of them database, are they? Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, so this is not good, because then it's going to have like a notifier for every single thing, whereas we want like a thin notification layer that should just be driven by the data. So that should be fixable. Client, create Discord client, is fine. Create Discord notifier. Yeah, that needs to be a generic notifier, I'd say. So it's not updated that plan. Naughty boy. All right, I'm going to do that in a second. You're using the 20x plan, but I don't use Claude Code. I'm using the projects and the Mac app. I don't know what I've never used it. Well, I've never used the Mac app, and I've never used projects, I don't think. I use the UI, so like this UI. I don't know what projects is, to be honest, or the app. Have you run into limits then on the 5x plan, or did you just be a mogul and get the expensive plan to start off with? Come on, Claude, it shouldn't be difficult to rename that folders. Okay, bum, bum, bum. Yes, you can do that. Go for it. So yeah, I've had a couple of people reach out actually, talking about wanting to collaborate and stuff on projects. Be interesting to see what they want to build. Project ran into limits using Opus. Projects is where you can upload a plan and the documents etc. and have every chat inside projects. Oh, okay, interesting. I should probably use that then for various things I do. Thing is with all these all these APIs, well, not APIs, but all these little like UIs and stuff for the LLMs, like all it ends up being is it just passes it all in into prompt, and that's literally all it does. So like, it's actually nothing different than just doing it in a chat. So it's just a fancy UI for it. That's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. So yeah, we'll get to update the research file as well. It's in docs, research as well, yeah. Close Discord for now. Well, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what people want to talk about. I wonder whether it's just like when you're a software engineer and you meet someone and they go, "Oh, I've got an app idea." So we'll see. But yeah, there's actually an interesting site you might be interested in, Mogul. This one. It's like startups and stuff that like little software tools that people put on there with their revenue and stuff, and then they're all for sale. Kind of interesting. It's crazy some of the asking prices and some of the revenue that some of these tools seem to get. Okay, let me just check it's not totally bulked everything up. Okay, cool, that's fine. You can commit the restructuring, but do not commit the plan and do not start the implementation, please. I need to get you to actually write a proper bloody plan rather than just doing this. Okay, in the plan, in the domain notifier service, we need generic notifier that's driven via the database config rather than what we currently have, which is a Discord specific notifier. So we should just have a light interface between the two, and we call notifier.notifier whatever with the event type and then the integrations, and it all just works in a clean, nicely separated, sort of like hexagonal architecture. I'm not explaining that at all. Well, it's actually quite difficult to explain what you want to do in code and architecture just through talking. No, my plan's not to put it. Well, maybe if one of them makes money, I can put it on there and sell it. Who knows? Currently, none of them are planning to make money, really. Well, hopefully you can make money off the shorts generator. Well, the content like pipeline generator. But we will see. Is the plan updated with this then? Because you don't even mention notification service in the plan currently. But yeah, I mean, if we can build a product and sell it on something, well, anywhere, that'd be interesting. It's probably the quickest way that we'll get to $1 million in revenue is doing that. How far we can get and what we can build on there, we'll see. Why am I on? Okay, terrible UX. Okay, has it actually done the plan correctly then? No. Yes, replace the plan with the correct plan, the generic notification system plan. Yes, and update it for the new paths as well. The plan needs to be exactly what we're going to implement, basically, not the previous Discord notify one. Oh, would you do it? I mean, told you to do it already. Why are you asking stupid stuff, Claude? So yeah, I mean, maybe one stream we can have a look at these and kind of roast them. Maybe we can go through some of them and see what people are asking for, what people have built. I imagine there's loads of OpenClaw things on there. People asking ridiculous amounts of money for stuff. What's the highest asking price one then? 15 million. That's a resume builder. Okay, interesting. It's a lot of money for a resume builder, but 8 million in revenue, kind of crazy. Based Labs. You got 2.2 million. Oh, you've got 1.25 million revenue all time. Oh. All of that to nothing then. Interesting. Yeah, maybe we'll spend half an hour or so on another stream going through that. Be interesting. See what people have built. Plan replaced, right. Okay, it's actually got the correct plan now. Bloody hell, good. So we've got notification, interface, notification, dispatchers, yes. So create service, the adapters. Each platform gets an adapter. Yep, correct. Adapter is a factory function. Config, Discord, notification adapter owns both messaging, format, templates, good. Channel registry, table stores, channel type, name, JSON config, yep. And an enable flag, adding a new Discord channel to account is a DB insert, no code change needed. Lovely jubbly. You get notification channels, ID, config shape. Yep. So final enable, final, yeah, okay. Place bet notification, settle bet notification. Create notification service, yeah, looks fine. Key errors. Factory function that creates Discord notification, yeah. Yeah, makes sense to me. Yeah, okay, I think that's a reasonable plan then. Okay, yep, we can go ahead and implement actually what we'll do. Use the correct thing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe it is worthless, but well, it's obviously not. If you've still got a lot of revenue, then I mean, it's still making a lot of money. Well, getting a lot of revenue for sure. The thing is with all of these things, I think you'll find that a lot of people still don't know how to use AI properly, and they'd rather just pay for a tool or use a tool like this maybe. Ultimately, with all these things, it's all marketing. So that's the key differentiator. I think I've heard of this one. I think I don't get how this one makes as much money as it does, because it's just like post all your social accounts from one dashboard. Like I guarantee that I'll add this functionality in like 2 days to my my platform. Like it's literally just like connect the accounts, add your content, and schedule it. It's not difficult at all. But the fact it's got pretty good revenue and stuff is kind of crazy, really. It just goes to show you, some people will pay for such basic things, really. But yeah, we can explore, we can build all these things, try and get some money coming in. Yeah, I'll definitely actually, maybe I'll do a half an hour, an hour tomorrow or something, going through some of these and reviewing them and seeing why they're there, whether I think they're good ideas or not, and if I'm surprised by how much money they're making. Maybe it'd be some inspiration for some products we can build and stuff. Okay. So yeah, what do I need to do? I need to fund the wallets and do the predictions. I think that's do the prompting. So I'll do that off stream. Don't want to leak my keys and get my money stolen. Discord integration is not that important for now. So yeah, how long is this stream be going? Oh, I need to go get my money back from Restream because their service is crap. So yeah, I think I might wrap the stream up. Stay tuned in Discord, and hopefully you'll start to see some bets coming in. And once I do the SSL cert on the website as well, it should all be available. I'll drop a message in Discord when I've done that, and hopefully we can start seeing the bets coming in and seeing whether we can make any money or how the LLMs get on. Do they do any sensible stuff? Are they able to beat the market? We'll see. Or have I made this code terrible? Or has Claude made this terrible and will waste all my money in one bet, or do the same bet multiple times until I'm broke? We'll see. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys tomorrow. So how much are we betting? I'm going to do I'm going to start as $10 per model, just until I confirm that it all works correctly and it doesn't do 50 bets at once. And then I'll probably put $50 in each one. That's probably the idea. But anyway, if you want to fund it, go ahead, Mogul. Yeah. Anyway, gonna wrap up the stream.